Generative AI is the thing that's going to make banking conversational. It's going to make it truly personalized, and it's going to make it always on. So to me, that's fundamentally transforming banking.
You mentioned certain things about your central team is responsible for building guardrail, evaluating models. I also know you're a bit of an industry leader in terms of ethical AI, responsible AI fairness. So Donald, tell us a little bit more about how OCBC is scaling up AI in a fair, safe, and responsible manner.
We take it very seriously. We believe you can't have generative AI without responsible AI. The two things go hand in hand. Yeah. And I think we're fortunate to live in Singapore, because Singapore has been quite open about wanting to be a global leader when it comes to the use of responsible AI. We're very fortunate to have very forward-looking collaborative regulators. We have MAS on the financial services side and IMDA on the media side, and they actively collaborate with the industry to define what are those industry guardrails going to look like. And what I especially like is they're not just writing large documents. We're actively crafting open source software that we can deploy into our processes for things like fairness testing or red teaming on LLMs. So I think Singapore's done a great job when it comes to AI safety. As we develop our applications, we've been progressively building our internal guardrails to make sure that those Gen AI applications are done securely. Yeah. So the kind of things that we've been building evaluation frameworks. Yeah. So that when new LLMs are launched on the market, we're able to accurately test those models to find out where there are limitations. Are they toxic? Is there gender bias, for example? So we know the limitations. When it comes to building applications, we've been building internal guardrails like our RAG system, so we can control the context of what's actually going into the models, and building things like hallucination detection, and also using FLAIR for hallucination rectification as well. And so we build these as common services that we deploy available to anyone in OCBC when we have our LLM available as a service.
I also feel quite fortunate to be operating in Singapore. I definitely second what you said about MAS being more practical and actually releasing things that practitioners like you and I can use. Wyman also work with MAS on a number of projects in that regard. So maybe switching gear a little bit, if we can fast forward to 3 to 5 years in the future, what in your mind is a Gen AI enabled OCBC? What does it look like?
I think it looks very different for employees and also for customers. For employees, the way I imagine generative AI changing the future is that Gen AI will really be augmenting our employees. It will be helping to automate a lot of the drudge work that every employee faces in their day-to-day tasks. So if I can use Gen AI to take away some of the brain fatigue things that you don't enjoy doing, so that you can spend time focusing on the higher value tasks, or potentially even getting home to see your family an hour earlier every day, then to me that's transformational. If I can take 30, 40 minutes out of every employee's day, then already that's a huge productivity gain across 30,000 employees. But eventually, if I can get to the stage where I'm taking 1 hour out of every employee's day across the organization, you have to start asking yourself, do I need to be working 5 days a week? Or is this the thing that ultimately gets us to the 4-day working week? Yeah. And that is truly, transformational for society. For customers, I think generative AI is really going to change the way that you interact with the bank. For the last 15 years, the interface to the bank has been the mobile phone. And I think Gen AI is going to get us away from tapping to talking. Yeah. So it's about having a more conversational interface with your bank, whether that's through voice or whether through text chat. So the kind of future I'm imagining is you wake up in the morning, you're having your breakfast cereal, and you ask your phone, hey, what happened in the market last night? And the Gen AI tells you, hey, there was volatility in the market and this stock went up and this stock went down. Okay, what should I do? And the Gen AI knows your profile. It knows your risk appetite, what assets you hold today. And it says, this is what I recommend that you do. And I say, yes, execute that. And behind the scenes, the agent frameworks pick up on that. They take your order, they go and execute it. By the time you go to work, already these tasks have been completed and you get an email confirming it. To me, generative AI is the thing that's going to make banking conversational. It's going to make it truly personalized, and it's going to make it always on. So to me, that's fundamentally transforming banking.
It's truly fundamentally transforming. Banking is going to look completely different. And I think what's really resonating with me is not only all of those sounds fantastic, it's so within reach. A lot of the technology you're talking about is already there. We are actively experimenting and building those solutions.
Yeah, agreed. Like 2 years ago, those things were science fiction.
Yeah.
Today, generative AI can already understand the voice. You can have a good, sensible conversation with a generative AI. And agent frameworks are a real thing. Today, 70% of the calls to large language models in OCBC are made by agents. So already a lot of our complex workflows, we have agents behind the scenes executing those things. So I think all the pieces are there. It's just about putting them together and having the right guardrails in place so people are comfortable.
Yes, fantastic. So what are some of the advice, to wrap it up, you would like to give other industry leaders who's on a similar journey, scaling AI?
My key advice would be don't wait.
Yeah.
You know, I think already the time for experimentation, the time for POCs is over. I think the benefits are clear. There's lots of examples like OCBC where we're showing real benefits from generative AI. And I think there's already clarity on what are the main use cases. You know, it's about using Gen AI for coding, for customer service, for discovering knowledge and curating new content. So someone's already identified what are the key use cases. There's no need for you to experiment anymore. It's go out there and start capturing those benefits.
Thank you so much once again, Donald, for your insight and your time. We covered a broad range of topics under AI, scaling AI. We touched on your own journey at OCBC starting 2019. We mentioned this multifaceted approach everyone needs to embrace in order to scale up AI. We also touched on how fortunate we are in Singapore to embrace responsible AI. And finally, I love the vision you pan out, and it's so within reach, and let's just take action right now. Thank you very much for the insight, and congratulations on everything you've achieved so far. Really look forward to the future that you described to us.
Thank you very much.
So much.
Really enjoyed the discussion.
Really enjoyed it.